Here's how I know this Rolex came from the original owner, even though I didn't buy it directly from him. And the reason a one-owner watch is more special is because 99% of these pieces, especially a Rolex like this that's over 20 years old, get passed from buyer to seller to buyer to seller, and you pretty much have no idea their history at that point. But when you find a piece that truly came from the original owner, it just makes it that much more special. And to paint the full picture here, the jeweler who sold me this watch is based in Michigan. It was also sold in Michigan originally. You can see on the papers it's dated November 15th, 2004, but when we look at the serial number, it's a K serial. And a K serial means the watch was manufactured around 2000 or 2001. But it wasn't uncommon for a Rolex to sit in the authorized dealers for years until it finally sells. How times have changed. And although it's a well-worn piece, it appears unpolished to me. Now, the one thing I'll say is when you look at the finish, it looks too shiny. And what that tells me is the previous owner probably took a cloth and wiped the watch down every time he wore it. So after years of doing that, it kind of just erased that original finish off a little bit. But when you look close enough, you can still see all of the original finishing lines intact, as well as the edges and chamfers on every single lug. He put a nice scratch on the crystal, but aside from that, the dial is perfectly clean, all the hands. It doesn't even look like the bracelet has been taken off the watch. I'd be surprised if the watch was ever serviced or even the movement opened. So let's crank it open and see what's on the inside. Now, even though the original owner was pretty hygienic, lots of dirt usually builds up between these end links when you take the bracelet off, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bunch of dirt just built up in there. All right, who wants that? The serial number is located between these lugs and matches the papers, so we're still on track. Like cracking an oyster. Oh, this is perfect timing. Paul, tell us if you think this watch has ever been serviced before.
How old is the watch?
It's like 25 years old.
I'm gonna go with no. No mark at all. And usually you're gonna have at least one screw that has a mark or that has something, and this one is pretty mint.
The way to think about it is when Rolex builds these movements and they screw everything down, they use a brand new screw and the screws go in there in perfect condition. But when a watchmaker goes in and starts unscrewing things, it leaves little signs that the screws have been turned before. So when we see these and every single screw in here is in flawless condition, paints the story. Crazy part is the watch is still running pretty well. I mean, 12 seconds fast per day, and it's not that surprising to me. I've seen these Rolex movements even older, untouched, running accurately still, so over 20 years, no service. Is it due for a service? Yes, but personally, I'd say just let it ride and wait until it really needs a service. 12 seconds fast per day is not that bad in my opinion. So at this point, all I'm gonna do is clean all the dirt off the watch, put it back together, sell it as is. But it's the stories like this that make a fairly common and regular watch into